All right, why do we need all of this magical equipment right here? Well, let's face reality. About a year or so ago, I was loading a rototiller in the bed of my truck. It was raining, it was dark out, and I was in the backhoe. I had a piece of equipment hooked to the back of the truck, so I couldn't use ramps to get this into the truck. And I'm trying to set the rototiller in the bed of the truck, and all of a sudden I'm like, why won't it go down, the bucket go down any further? And I'm looking, and then I realized it's because the bucket was sitting on the roof of my Dodge here, and oh man, I'll try to get a good shot so you can see how bad this is. It's horrible. Now, I could not have been any luckier in this situation, just because, well, I guess I could say I'm pretty lucky now because it's just starting to spit a little bit of rain. And I finally get a chance. It's gorgeous weather. It's like 65 degrees in January, so I figured, oh, let me come mess with this. Anyway, like I was saying, it pushed right down on here, and it must have hit the cross member in there for the structural support. I have no idea how it didn't blow out the glass. It doesn't leak. But the time has come to do something about this. Now, I got a price to fix it, and they wanted, this door is open, that's why the seam looks so bad here. It's actually cracked, but normally this fits right, so everything's okay. I got a price to fix this with a new skin on the roof, and it was like 3,500 bucks. Now, you know, whatever, for 3,500 bucks, I'm gonna wing it. And I've done quite a bit of body work. I'm not a professional by any means, but I know enough to get in trouble and how to do this. So in the process, I was able to determine that I need to get a stud kit. So I've been wanting one of these for a little while, give this a whirl. So I picked this up at the local Harbor Freight. It was 100 bucks for this thing. And it came with the slide hammer. I haven't even opened it yet, but I get to try that. I also get to use my hammer and dolly set. Now this I've had for quite a few years now, and I would highly recommend it. It's a rather cheap set. Overall, you don't need the best of quality. The key is that you get solid, good, I don't even know what these are, dollies. There you go. That's what it also came with a spoon, which is nice to get up in there and bang and pry and do whatever you need to do. But these come in so handy. This was a very cheap set. I don't know exactly where I got this one, who I ordered it from, but I've had it a while. It's worth buying if you're going to do any body work. Also, you're going to need a good grinder. I've had this, go figure. I was 14 and my grandparents gave me this, I think, for Christmas or my birthday. Go figure. What a great gift. I've had it since I was 14. Holy hell, I've had this thing like 30 years now. That's a long time to be using a grinder, and I use it for everything. Like, seriously, you can tell it's covered in every kind of cement, grit, metalworking. They probably don't make them that good anymore, that's for sure. Sears Craftsman Industrial, yeah, geez. Go figure. And a bunch of different sanding discs. I'm going to use the wire wheel at first because I want to strip off all the paint, clean it up, and get a nice good surface, but I don't want to do that until it's not going to rain. I thought I had some time here. Very slight chance of rain. It's just starting. I don't, again, have to do what's already exposed here, but what I want to do is take all this area off. Take all the paint off of there. And then I want to start here. Always start at the worst part. Give it a yank. So we'll put the stud thing on there, and I've never done it, can't wait to try it. And we will we'll be pulling here. We'll probably pull right through this line first to get this back up, to make this shape. Once we try to make this shape, it should be pulling this back in, and I'll probably be smacking on this part with a hammer, and I would probably miss and hit the window and break the window and be totally screwed. Yeah, we'll try. I don't know. I really should be hitting on this while coming up with this. Now, the other trick and problem is there's a full headliner in this truck, and I don't want to touch the headliner. I don't want to do anything. I don't even want to put any holes in this. I just want to pull it as best I can, and you know, come on. The truck is an absolutely amazing truck, but it's not brand new by any means. It's a 2006. It's been around for quite a while, and her nickname is Patches in the first place because I think this is like the only original thing left on the truck is the rear door. You know, everything gets changed and swapped and fixed and modified on this thing. So okay, well, here's our stud gun. let's open this thing up and take a look and see what we get here. Prop this like this. I've always wanted to try one of these. Curious to see how well it works. Found it better than having a giant dent in the roof of your truck. Ooh, look at that. It looks so beautifully cheap. Love it. Perfect. Okay, so we have 200 different various studs here. Probably only need the thin ones. Direction. And I think it came with tips, if I'm not mistaken. Sorts. Yeah, probably not mine. Huh. Gotta hope I have the right tip for this. That'll be a nice game changer. Okay, well, using our grinder, managed to grind this down and get a way to take off all our paint. Bare metal. So now we can get here and weld this. The trick to doing this first is once we start doing this with the stud gun, we're going to have a whole bunch of like little mountains on this, little peaks. And it's going to be very hard to grind this very smoothly and correctly without maybe putting a hole in this. So if you do it first, get it out of the way about what you need, it won't be so bad to clean it up later. Now let's take our little stud gun here. And of course, you know, when you buy these cheap quality tools, they don't always come with all the right stuff. So this one's supposed to come with 2 tips. It only came with 1 tip. And of course the tip I need is the small tip to put the small ones in. And I don't have that. So, you know, that's the way this stuff goes when you buy quality stuff. And I'm going to try it with one of the small pins as opposed to a 2mm pin versus a 3mm pin. God, it's just more oomph that's hitting the metal, but let's see what happens. Maybe it'll work. Give it a whirl here and try this thing out. Let's try a small pin. Even though it's not the right size, I'm curious to see what happens. Does it stick right? So basically what we're going to do is we're going to put that pin in there and we're going to push that against the metal until the tip goes in. Once that tip and this tip touch, we hit the button here and it blows a pin or welds the pin. Let's try the sucker out. Okay, well, we're all ready to go here. We're going to start at our worst point. This is our lowest point of the dent. We're going to put one in here. We're probably going to put a couple more here, and we're going to slowly start to pull from there. And, well, let's see how this works. Put it in, hold it like that. And we're going to want to pull kind of this way, I'm thinking. So hold it like that. Let's see if I can get a shot on there. Help if the tool is plugged in. Okay, there we go. We got a good little one on that one. That should be good. Let's get a couple more. There we're seeing a pin. Now we can hook onto that and give it a little tug and pull. So if we pull there, we're probably going to be pulling here and here. Okay, hammer and dolly. I'm probably going to want this hammer. I love this hammer. It works very well for everything. Take the slide hammer. Put that. Now, this has a little groove in there, so it grabs it. Just drop it on in. What the heck's going on here? Okay, now that's locked on there. At least I thought it was. Tricky little lock system. Wow. Okay. Wow, that was a hard pull. Didn't really do much of anything. And it just yanks it right off there. Well, that ain't gonna work. Okay, let's try that. That was a good one. That's a good solid burn circle, I would say. I didn't burn my truck. So far, so good. I think we're all right. It's right around there, though. But... okay, well, we're having a little bit of progress here. I don't know if you could see much. It's still big time dented, but if I'm working the outsides and coming in, it works a lot better. It's just too much kink and pull. It's just ripping through the metal here. So like I said, if I started on this outside, I was able to pull these up, and this is popping pretty well. Again, same with this. I got this to pop pretty well. And now I'm working into here. I have a feeling once this pulls, and this pulls, and this pulls, it should work. I want to try on this piece. I don't know if this is going to go right here. It's very tricky to get this started. Okay. Working. Now I need to tap this corner a little bit right there without hitting the window, just to kind of help push that up. Very tricky spot, but it's working, and it's lifting that up now. Let me stop there and move on to a different one. I'll show you why if I get this off of here. I don't want that to pull out. I want to slowly work this whole valley up and get rid of this crease if I can. That'll be the tricky part. Move on over to this one, for example. Coming up a little bit. No more good work there. I was afraid of that one. Luckily, I can re-weld these tips back on. And where's my other one? Is this one maybe? It's this one here. See if you can catch that pop. You can see the metal moving. That's what we're after. Well, I'm getting the hang of this thing now. We'll say it is not easy. It's work, it's heavy, it's awkward, it's... you can see I put a million of these little pins in here. But basically, I mean, I don't know if you can really see. That's pretty flat following the curve here. I won't need a whole lot of filler in here, and yes, there's still a crater. Man, can we get a good image at all? Hey, there you go. Now you can kind of see what I'm working with. This big ditch. But from back here, most of this is pretty... nice. I like that. So we're shrinking the size of this disaster at the moment. Instead of being this big, because that was the line, it's now, you know, in here. And I got a weird bump here. This, I probably have to hit this down, which maybe I'll do that soon while pulling on here. If I'm hitting down here and pulling up like here this way, it needs to come this way. And I just have to keep working toward the middle of this, because I know as soon as I put something here, it's just too solid. It doesn't pull. But a little bit at a time, and I can work this metal out. At least that seems to be the case. Well, I gotta say, my truck looks like Pinhead, but overall, that's not so bad compared to what it was. I don't know if you could tell, but that is 1,000 times better. Now, you know, there's gonna be maybe a tiny bit more body filler in here than I really want to use, but I didn't have to mess with the headliner. I did almost light the truck on fire one time. I had to dump some water in that one of those holes quick, and luckily I managed to get it out. Overall, I think I can work with this line. I can maybe hit this in a tiny bit more, and that might help. Yeah, I'm gonna try to hit this a little more, maybe pull a little more here, but this is very solid. Now, one of the problems with this is when I went to get a price on getting this reskinned, the guy's like, yeah, we don't want to do it because there's too much movement as far as body filler. And it makes sense. If you have a thin panel like this, wiggling and woggling, it's gonna move and warp a lot. However, and granted, it's a big surface, this piece is now very solid because of this dent. It's like really reinforced the whole thing. So I don't see this contracting and moving near as much as, say, something paper thin like that. So you'll probably be able to tell this is a little different when it's done. Whatever, I don't care. It's the roof. It's got to be better than what it is. So that's the main goal. Keep poor Patches alive here. Okay, well, it's been a while, and you can see the roof is not perfect, but it is perfect. It's pretty smooth. Body filled it, painted it with just whatever paint I had left over, and shot a little bit of clear, so it had a little bit of reflection until I get around to reshooting the whole truck. For now, it kind of blends, and yeah, you're looking at it there, but if you come down here and you're just walking along, you'd never even know it. This looks like a normal truck again. I got that dent to do up there at some point. So, for what it cost me to do that, man, I'm like $100 for the gun and $30 worth of paint and supplies for everything else. It's finished. So, take that. Definitely worth it.